Okay, so we're going to get started with using Google Colab for doing a Python notebook, for doing some coding with the Python language. So this is a Google product and it's easy to find. You can just Google Colab, C-O-L-A-B, and you can, or Colaboratory. That will bring up Colab, right? Google Colab. You'll need to log in to Google. I've already logged in over here. So in order to save, you'll need to be logged into Google under your own account. Most of us already have a Google account, and if not, you can make one pretty easily. Okay. So once we get in here, we need to get to name our notebook. So it will default to a notebook name that is just untitled when you first start. You can make a fresh notebook by file and new notebook, but if you've linked here, then from a notebook that somebody has shared, it will come up with that notebook. And if you need to do a new one to start your own, we'll go to new notebook. Okay, so a new notebook is going to open up a new notebook. And so this one's named Untitled number 5. And so you can highlight right here and give that file a name, or you can do File and Rename to give your notebook a name. Leave the extension on there, the .ipynb, that's a Python notebook. I'm not really sure what the I stands for, but internet maybe, I don't know. But you can give it a name. So here I'm just calling it name. All right, you can name it whatever you want, lab number 1 or whatever. Periodically you'll want to do file and then save. It will save automatically, but this way, just in case you've done something important, you don't want to lose it, you can save. Okay. So now you're ready to start entering things into the cells. Okay, so up here you can see a little play button, and this is what's called a cell. And we have two kinds of cell. One is for coding and one is for text. So we're going to start with a text cell. I'm going to go up to that previous one which wanted to code and delete it. So, all right, text cell. So a text cell it's just like when you're using any kind of word processor program. So if you're going to use this to write a lab report, you can do, here's my lab report. Lab report. Okay, and now you can put in some text here. Okay. So what's over on the left is my working cell, but over here it's showing me what it's going to look like. Now I don't want it to look like that. I want text here to be on a separate line. So if I put another a new line here, now it knows it's on a new line. And also the lab report is my title. So I'm going to highlight lab report, click here, and now it's going to put it as a title. It makes it larger. I can make it boldface. Okay. You can make something boldface by putting 2 asterisks before it and after it. That makes it bold. You can also italicize either with the button, or you can put an asterisk before it and after it, and there it's in italics. Okay, so you can do all of your text in here, we could do bullet points. So if you had something that you wanted to do as bullets, okay, we've got bullet points, and then we can list items, number 1, number 2. And it'll look really nice once we've finished with it. Okay. So now that I've finished, I just double-clicked in the right-hand screen where it was showing what it looked like, and there's my text cell. To create a code cell, there's 2 ways to start a new cell. One is up here. There's a plus sign, and it says code. And if you hover at the bottom of your previous cell, it will allow you to put in a new one. So that if you're your notebook gets really long and you can't see the one at the top, you can just go to the one above it, plus code. Now this is a coding cell, and this is where we do our programming. So with Python, we're going to put in some code. And once you've done your code, you can click the play button to make sure that it's going to work. So one of the commands that we can use is print. Print, okay? And in parentheses now, I'll put the quote marks, and I'm going to print hello. Okay, so then we end. It already put it in automatically with the quote marks. And then when I click play, it'll do what I told it to do. It has to think about it for a second, and it printed hello. Okay. There's more than one way to do this. If we put just a single quote before and after, just an apostrophe, and I'm going to tell it to print something different. Hello there, so you can see that it's different. Okay, and play. It's hello there. Okay. If you make a mistake, don't be afraid of making a mistake. Let's say I capitalize the P and I try to run that. And it says, no, I can't do that. It gives you an error. So don't worry if you get an error. You can just go back and usually do a little troubleshooting, and you can figure out what the problem was. Okay? Now, as you're doing your coding, there are the certain things that are commands, but maybe you want to put in some information about what you're doing here. So you can put some text into a code cell. You just have to start it with the number symbol, also known as a hashtag, or the pound sign. Anyway, it's Shift 3 on your keyboard. So that tells it that this is text and not code. Okay? So that when I do the print, it's not going to try to do anything with the comment. Okay. All right, so next time we'll do some more coding, some more things that you can do with the coding. We started with the print command, which is pretty useful. But to share your notebook, okay, we go up to the upper right to share. Okay. And there's some things that you're going to need to do if you're going to share this with somebody, depending on what you want them to be able to do. Okay, so if you want to be able to share this, first of all, restricted here. We want to be able to share it. You want to tell it who can see it. It's either an individual or go to anyone with a link. So if you change the access to anyone with a link, then you can copy the link and send it to them, and they can open the link and it will open up your notebook. Now they won't be able to edit it unless you want them to be able to edit it. So over here we see viewer. That means that anybody with the link can view the notebook. But if you want them to be able to make comments on it, like you're submitting this for a class, you can, anybody with the link can now be a commenter so that they can put comments on it without changing it. But if you're working together with a partner and you want both partners to be able to make additions and changes to the notebook, then we have to change this to editor. And then whoever you send the link to will be an editor. Okay. So when you copy the link, tells you link copied, and now you can paste that into an email or into a message so that, or if you're submitting this for a class, you can put it into your submission so that somebody can open up your notebook. Okay. So that is the beginning. So next time we'll do some more with the coding to see what kinds of things we can do with Python.